Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the long-awaited Heroes of Newerth cast. This is a game from the UNGL Destiny game matchups. This is from the round of 16, and these guys have been playing it out pretty decently. It's 64 teams entered this tournament. We're down to 16. The quarterfinals, semis, and finals have yet to be played, but in front of us here we do have team favorite UNZ, team captain in attendance, Revy there on the blue slot. Revy, of course, the GameReplays.org staff member, always a fun guy to watch. UNZ did go to the DreamHack Winter Finals. They were pitted up against MSI, but now they're pitting their wits here in the UNGL Destiny. Their teammates, LNK, which I do believe stands for Linked. Pretty obvious, Linked, LNK, and they're going to go up against UNZ, best of one here in the finals. I'm the Four Court Jester. Joining me today is the Bloodline champion commentator himself, Cast with a K. How you doing, sir?
Four Court, and tides have turned. I'm actually on your stream now and actually going to be on your recordings, not doing Bloodline Champions, but I'm pretty excited. I play Heroes of Newerth every day, try to get in at least 1 or 2 games, and I'm pretty pumped. You know, I'm feeling good about this, and by all means, I'll give this a crack, and we'll see how these picks come out pretty soon, as we do have a double gauntlet on the Warm team. I should say on the Legion side. I'm too used to Bloodline Champions.
Warm
but,
team.
The Warm team. I know. Kee. But, tell us a little bit more. I mean, you said UNZ was the favorite here versus Linked. But do you know anything about their particular playstyles, what they might go for with these kind of bans and picks, from your opinion? I mean, they banned Soul Stealer, so maybe not so much of a push strategy. Thunderbringer, heavy nukes as well. But, what are you noticing between these two teams? Because you've been in the league a little bit longer.
Well, I mean, everyone really gets used to the whole picks and bans in the tournaments after you play enough of them, so you really got to diversify exactly what you want to be playing. This isn't going to be, those same team comps you see every time with those favorite statistics. So everyone has typically very varied play styles. All their favorites are pretty much spread over 2 or 3 different heroes, and likely, I don't know, based upon this right now, we don't have a Thunderbringer, so, I mean, a good tri-lane destroyer hero out of the running, and as you did say, Soul Stealer is already out of it as well. Big farming hero there. Now, Dr. Repulsor, he's kind of a standard ban these days. Those int hero carries, I mean, when they get into that late game, they are extremely powerful, and Dr. Repulsor is a typical ban. Revy did get rid of Pharaoh. Not too sure why offhand. I'm just looking at the favored heroes of Link. Link is not a team I've seen around the tournament scene to date, so I'm not too sure if they have any kind of favored comps that UNZ here has researched, but we are not going to see that Pharaoh. Pharaoh's a great initiator or counter-initiator with those mummies, and he can definitely do a lot of damage, especially when comboed with the Hellbringer, who is also now banned, with that Malphus of his. Big, huge counter-initiation right there. So we're not going to see a lot of big, heavy heroes like that in here. We do have the Gauntlet ban. The double was just trolling us a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
and actually right now it says Gauntlet for everyone on my screen, which is a little weird. And Bombardier, not Bombardier, Bombardier, that Canadian accent of mine getting in the way, is not also going to be seeing here. He's a big solo mid kind of hero. So that being said, Pebbles is still on deck. We also still have Forsaken Archer, a huge favorite of Revy. So his top 2 heroes is actually Pebbles and Forsaken Archer, 9% apiece, and they're both actually on the board. I'd be very interested to see him go one of those, but I don't know. Likely we're going to be seeing some kind of tri-lane action coming down out of UNZ, unless they pick some kind of miracle lineup that I've never seen before.
Yeah, as you say, they might be doing tri-lane. Wretched Hag still is on the board. I know a lot of people do ban him in some of the replays I have seen. And a personal favorite of mine, Louis over there, does play Wretched Hag. So if they are going to go with the tri-lane kind of strategy, Wretched Hag might be a viable pickup right there. The first 2 picks for the Legion side, Torture with the great stuns, as well as Magnus. So you can definitely see a lot of combo potential right there with the Lava Surge into the Tormenting Chains. It's definitely going to deal a lot of damage. But, we do have Slither here on the Hellborn side. Tons of slow potential between the wards, the Toxin Spray, and his just toxicity off of his, right-click attack, standard auto attack. Can put a little bit of a advantage back to their side. They can run away, maybe after those stuns, could do some kind of support. But Myrmidon, I think, might be a good pickup. Haggy Boy has been, eyeing him for a little bit, right-clicked his name, as we are going to maybe see Ophelia and a little bit of Flint Beastwood. So this would be pretty interesting from the Legion side if they did decide to pick up those two heroes that they right-clicked. Again, they were just trolling us with the gauntlets before, but we'll just have to see how this goes as the time is ticking down for this Hellborn side. Team linked, as Hammerstorm Myrmidon would give them a good amount of stuns, good amount of CC to be able to control the battlefield and maybe, set up very nice lanes.
Well, Myrmidon's going to be the pickup here. Myrmidon ranks amongst the best support heroes you can get for your team. I mean, just take a quick look at his skills there. Weed Field is a root in place. Magikarp is a stun, and Waveform just to get that much closer to your enemy so you can land these abilities. I mean, he's on par with Witch Slayer in the support role, as in he has multiple multiple disables. Well, the Weed Field is kind of a linear AoE, but he can bring a lot to the table. Hammerstorm with the AoE stun, likely going to be seeing him roaming, or he's going to just be there dominating a lane, possibly with the Myrmidon. The double stun combo is very, very tricksy. Slither, as you were saying, lots of poison, lots of slow. He's a great solo hero to throw down, like in the mid or just off to the side lane. Those wards combined with his slow, it just really ticks down heroes, and a lot of the time they just cannot keep up their hit points long enough to really do too much damage against him. It does, of course, depend on the player. We're going to have to see what they want to do with that. I can't really see the Team Legion here taking an Ophelia. That's more of a jungling hero, and you don't really see that many junglers here in the top tier tournament scene, simply because tri-lanes are very popular. That puts three in, well, usually the top lane, sometimes the bottom, but that will also leave you two other solos, which means jungling is kind of out of the question. So I'm really not expecting to see them. Louis, however, does have a lot played in Valkyrie. He's kind of eyeing her right now. Might be seeing a big Valkyrie pickup, and bam, there it is. Valkyrie Puppet Master. So going with a very hard carry, a Puppet Master.
Yeah, Puppet Master does need a lot of farm. I mean, he can go for Harkons, and there's a couple different builds out there that I have noticed. And back when he did go that Harkon's Blade, he was very deadly, but he does need a lot of farm. His crowd control is very good, especially for somebody if he puts it onto Hammerstorm when he's using his giant strength. He can actually make Hammerstorm kill his own teammates. That's very key, and I think that was a pretty wise pickup, as well as keeping Myrmidon in the fight. He can't use the waveform to get out anymore because he'll just be pulled right back in with the puppet string. So that could be a very nice pickup. Vindicator and Disham, possible picks for, and yes, definite picks for the Hellborn side. That Unbreakable right there on Disham, very powerful, gives damage as well as gives health back if you get a lethal blow to your face. So, support heavy with Vindy, Myrmidon, and Demented Shaman, but, Hammerstorm, great reliable stun, can do immense damage with that giant strength, and especially if he has any kind of attack speed going along with that. Slither can keep people slowed enough for Hammerstorm to chase. Same with Myrmidon, he can just keep the pressure up, keep the stuns and the control. Vindicator also helping with the counter initiation when, Magnus, he could just try and blink in with a portal key, stun everybody, try and do his eruption, volcanic eruption ultimate. And right now, Vindicator was a very nice pickup for that. It's going to break all of those combos between the stun CCs and also try and stop, the Armadon spam. A little bit. I mean, it's not the greatest factor part of Vindy, but, Armadon does rely on that. And if you max out your silence, Glyph of Silence right there, if Armadon uses his quills, the rest of his team can't use any stuns or any other crucial abilities that can really have that AoE-centric fight that they might be looking for with all of their heroes. So we'll just have to see how this picks up as 3, 2, 1 happens, and we are going to get this game started. Both teams going to be looking to try and take this match.
UNGL Destiny Cup in the round of 16. UNZ going up against Linked here. It is a best of one, so whoever takes this will go straight to the quarterfinals. And once again, this is Four Court Jester and Cast with a K. So, for team composition, they are now all done. Now, as you did say in the beginning, you're like, well, what do you think UNZ is going to be doing? That Puppet Master looks very, very frail. I mean, 530 hit points off the bat. Doesn't really have any kind of escape mechanisms. Looks like he's going to be going top there with Torture and Magnus. So 2 supports to be helping him out. That's also a potential double stun lane, and with that whiplash, and as you said, all the different crowd controlling features that the Puppet Master can bring to the table, they're likely going to be looking for first blood. They're going to be also traveling to the pack. This is interesting though. Armadon going mid. I really would have expected him to go into the side lane and put the Valkyrie mid for some quick ganks with that 5-second stun arrow. Louis is a very accomplished Valkyrie. Could very easily see some good aiming techniques coming out of him, but no, he is going to take that long lane, and I'm not too sure he's going to be going up against well, the Hellborn, likely Myrmidon with the Hammerstorm and Demented Shaman. That puts Slither and Vindy. No, not going to be doing that. I'm a little curious how they're actually going to split this. Vindicator can go carry, but he's very frail, very weak, and especially up against an Armadon who could just slow and destroy him later on. I'm very curious how they're going to split.
Yeah, right now that is a question to me as well. I think they're just trying to, bait out their opponents. Right now they're splitting up from the mid. They don't want to give anything away. And as you notice, this tri-lane, they figured maybe a tri-lane was coming. They didn't want to get, flanked and surrounded in the forest. That does happen in these kind of, competitive games. So you can see a little bit of tensions rising. And yes, they are going to go with that tri-lane top. Demented Shaman and Hammerstorm going to be up top. And actually, Myrmidon looking to double back down. He is going to be placing a ward. Yep, there it is on the top rune. So it's going to be tri-lane v tri-lane. And then we're going to have a single in the middle with Vindy up against Armadon and Slither versus Valkyrie bottom. So not too bad lanes. Although I might have to give the advantage to the Legion side for the lane advantage up top because they do have better combo ability with their CC. Magnus has a very reliable stun, can be followed up by Torturer as well as Puppets, Puppet Mastery and the hold from his Puppet String. So what do you think, Four Court?
It'll all come down to positioning. I mean, Demented Shaman's heal is also an AoE damage based upon the person you do heal. And look at that. I mean, we have a Hammerstorm ready to go in melee range. So it'll come down to positioning. They also do have a healer. A big important part of this game is, that lane survivability. And with that extra healer, it's a little bit extra burst. Myrmidon could easily do some counter initiation. I mean, if they start going down onto Hammerstorm, could easily do a weed field. Likely, though, they're not going to be going down on the Hammerstorm. They're going to try to pick off one of the support, and we're going to just have to keep watch on the dance that they do up top. I'm just very curious at the Vindicator mid lane. It's not exactly a strategy I've seen before, but again, we haven't really seen a carry Vindicator role being done in I can't remember when I've seen a carry Vindicator role go down. So Slither taking bottom solo, not really too much of a surprise, but yeah, I'm really interested to see how Vindicator's going to work out here.
Well, I think the reason they put Vindy mid is because, he needs to be able to tank up so he doesn't get destroyed by Armadon. And who else better to control the mid lane but Vindicator? Because he can orb walk. The creeps won't get onto him, and he can silence when he does the quill spam, and then just do a couple of counterattacks like that so he doesn't get absolutely destroyed. So it could be a good pickup. It is a little bit risky because, carry Vindicator, he is very squishy in the beginning. I don't know how exactly it will work out, but right now we just see a nice pull up there in the top lane. Hammerstorm is going to get a couple more bits of gold here, trying to take these creeps from the side camp. Yes, you can pull them into the lane for all of you who are wondering and just figuring out what Heroes of Newerth exactly is, although I'm sure everybody watching this replay is a veteran. And as you mentioned, bottom. Very, very interesting play here. Slither versus Valkyrie. Yeah, it's standard, but I like what he's doing. For all you rookie Slither players, throw that ward down, get that little bit of slow, then try and get a couple, right-click auto attacks off. It does the toxicity, it's just passive damage, and it keeps Valkyrie back. And so it looks like, maybe something was happening up top, Four Court. What were they thinking?
Well, nothing really. I mean, they are just basically trading auto attacks at this point. Nothing huge is going to be going down yet. You will see a big jump in the hit point numbers there on the bottom of your screen if and when they do make something happen. But yeah, just to follow up a little bit on your Slither, he is going 2 levels into toxicity at level 4, likely a third. I mean, after level 1 poison spray, you don't really need to throw any more into it because you're not really depending on it for the damage. You are going to be using it more for the slow potential, and after level 1 is while you're at max slow already. So yeah, throwing down the wards also controlling your enemy's hit points, because upon hit you are going to be losing any kind of health potion effects. So Ancient Tango is fine maybe, but any kind of health potions that these guys bring to the table is going to be nullified on that one hit, and that's all you need to use it for.
Yeah, and I mean, you're absolutely right there. And as you can see, toxicity, yeah, level 2, and he's just going and controlling this lane much better. You know, he has boots. Valkyrie doesn't have boots. They're both out of regen. Right now, I'm gonna have to give this one in Slither's favor. But right now, some action could be happening up top. Magnus trying to steal these neutral creeps, maybe thinking about going in. Puppet's there as well, eating the tree. It's going to be a fight between Hammerstorm and Puppet to get those last hits. Both teams sort of staying back, playing cautious, because any miscalculation in position could spell a stun, maybe a double stun combo, and that could be the first blood of the game. But if we take a look back at the middle, 2 level 5s, you know, right now, Armadon versus Vindicator, and we're seeing actually, you know, not too bad of play. They're both at very high health, so Vindy hasn't eaten all of his tangos yet. Top, okay, top, we have some action going on. The stun combination after the Magnus stun, and yes, great follow-up right there. Disham gonna use Unbreakable, and he is gonna get out of the fight. Great job right there. Myrmidon could be taken out. The Magnus, and the stun just gonna follow up, miss from Torturer, and this is a back and forth. I think everybody is gonna get out unscathed. I completely missed that. Thank you for catching that forecourt as we were just continuing down that road. But as you can see right there, Disham very valuable with that Unbreakable Amplify buff onto himself.
Yeah, it was a very clutch heal as well. As I said, it's all about that positioning. They had almost the first blood, and oh my god, there it is, down south. Valkyrie actually going to be taking that away from the Slither. It does look like level 6 had to come out. Yeah, I'm all tongue-tied right now. I'm just so excited. But it did come down to this this illusion rune. 2 extra damages, 3 sources of damage. Cass, just take this away from me.
Take this away. All right, yeah. So I mean, the illusion is very powerful. It also gave, you know, a couple bottle charges for Valkyrie, able to get that health back up, and you know, maybe he landed an arrow. I missed everything that happened right there. But regardless, it was very good. And we have action up top again. Puppet's hold. Is he going to get away? Torture just gets out. He's going to turn around, try and get a couple more hits. Unbreakable. Great job from Demented Shaman right there. Going to keep the Hammerstorm alive in the midst of that fight. But it looks like Magnus, trying to get that stun around the corner. Good job by Hammerstorm. Not just running around the trees where my cursor is. He ran up a little bit further, knowing Magnus could possibly do his Lava Surge through. And again, another kill from Valkyrie onto Slither at the bottom. This game is really picking up in action. Forecourt, did you catch that?
I got the last hit, and it was just an auto attack chasing him into the forest, but it does look like that the Javelin of Light made a big difference there as it was still on cooldown. I don't think he had enough mana for anything else, but yeah, I mean, two very quick kills on the bottom lane. Up top, Myrmidon might actually get a little bit of revenge on Torture. Yes, the Wheatfield is going to be enough, but Armadon is going to be paying that back with a... well, I was going to say with a taunt, but that was the premium pack. That was John St. John Duke Nukem himself saying, "Kiss my ass." Oh, I love it. Voice packs in this game are hilarious.
Dude, I mean, you got the Flamboyant pack, which I'm sure people will be really excited to play with. The, Rainbow Rampage now that's come out, but, you know, this game was played a little bit ago, and I don't think it was quite there for the patch. And, you know, Slither, look at him, level 6. He's level 6, and Valkyrie is level 8. Those 2 kills were absolutely monstrous for Valkyrie right there. Able to get, you know, not only the gold from the kills, but a significant level advantage. Now he's going to be able to, you know, nuke a little bit harder. And, you know, if you look right now, experience 1.5k in favor of the Hellborn team, 2k in gold. So I'm going to give the slight advantage to the Hellborn. Let's see what the Legion can do if they can get a couple key ganks off to try and balance things in their favor, as wards are just only at the top for the Legion side. We don't have any wards for the Hellborn. They are completely blind, but they're still picking up the runes. So great mobility by, this Vindicator of all things. You know, he's moving around. He's actually getting the runes and, you know, taking it back from the Legion who's, you know, helped Valkyrie out. But, you know, up top, we got some pings going on. Forecourt, let's see what's going to go on up here.
Well, we do have the Valkyrie. He's come all the way from town with those Ghost Marches his, so he's going to be looking to land an arrow here. A good 3 or 4 second arrow could land a good kill, but we have some spam going down right now from the Torture. They're just going to be starting to whittle away the hit points. Arrow goes out, arrow misses. Unfortunate. That's just going to be leading Valkyrie to either reposition or he's going to come and swing down to the mid where Armadon has been facing off against Vindicator. But right now it does look like Valkyrie's going to stick around. We got another 8 seconds on another arrow, who is also sticking around, but we've also lost someone. Down south, it's going to be a swap. Level 4 and Puppet Master and Torture are going to come down here to the Slither. They're going to go right down onto the Slither, balls to the walls, but the Torture is going to be trying to pick him off with his skills, but the auto attack's going down. We do have the poison ult from Slither. That's not going to be enough to clean up anyone, and 2 level 4s to take down the level 8 Slither. Sorry, the level 7 Slither, my mistake.
Yeah, level 7. He was getting those levels back, and it was looking pretty good. And actually, he does get the kill onto Puppet Master. Did you see that?
He denied.
He denied. At least the Puppet Master died. He is going to have to wait for that, death cooldown before anything can happen. But that was a good snipe right there. That Slither is already 3 deaths into the hole. He is not farming well. He's back in levels compared to this Valkyrie, who went to the top lane and hasn't been getting as much experience, was trying to set up for that gank, but that really enabled Puppet Master to get a slight advantage, get that level 5, even though Magnus is 4, and still hurting with just a boots and a homecoming stone. Always important to have that homecoming stone in case you need to help out your allies. Right now, Armadon's looking very healthy with that life tube. He's got some boots as well. Gonna be picking up an iron buckler and a Ring of the Teacher. So, he's going to probably go for the Helm of the Black Legion. Not a terrible pickup here because, Slither's got that good auto attacks. We got Vindicator also putting on a lot of harass, and Hammerstorm can block a lot of that damage. But here we go, Valkyrie with an arrow. Nice dodge by Vindicator, and they're still going to go in. Four Court, take this one.
Well, trying to use the jungle to his best advantage, unfortunately, with 2 very high hit points heroes and, of course, the spamming spine bursty Armadon. That's just going to whittle away his hit points. Louis picks that up with the haster, and he's going to come swing down south. If he can land a good stun here onto Slither, I'm not even sure he's going to matter about the stun. The haste is just so powerful at this point. Going to be running it, but no, juked right around the ward. Slither does not probably going to get away from this one. Not with, oh dear God, there goes the Puppet Master ult. The arrow was not even needed at all, but it is going to be Revy that picks that one up. Up top instead, we do have Myrmidon. He does find this Magmus out in the forest, but Magmus going to be using the invis trick of the steam bath. So every time you steam bath and you come out of it, you have about 1, maybe 2 seconds at most of invis time, and then we're going to combo that with, I think that was the Valkyrie
Prism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Valkyrie Prism. So, I mean, that was good support right there, and, calling out, making sure your teammates know what's going on. And Armadon's just sitting pretty in the mid. He's got a lot into Armadillo, which, upon a lot of damage, he just shoots the spine quills out. And Vindicator's having a harder and harder time trying to control him, especially now that with that life tube, Helm of the Black Legion turned into that, or from the life tube. And we are going to be seeing, still the Farmadon keep going at it, and action maybe up top with 4 players there. Again, we do have Puppet Master just farming bottom nice and pretty. He does have a homecoming stone on him. But here we go, initiation up top. We got lots happening. Nice stun combination from the Torture right there, missing, and right happening is the kelp field. I missed a lot of that action. Four Court, give me a recap. I was trying to catch it as soon as I was watching bottom.
Well, we threw a hammer right down onto the Scorpion himself, but he did try to use the steam bath to projectile pop it. Didn't quite work. Led up to the weed field. I mean, you do know where he is after you know that the projectile pop failed, and that just kind of led to a whole bunch of pain. But at the same time, a little bit of counter coming out there from UNZ, but unfortunately they were not able to get that extra kill going on in the mid. Instead, Armadon is going to be finding Slither, very confident after that kill, but now he's all slowed, and with that Armadon quills, it's going to be a lot. Look at the team support come in here, so overconfident. Krylie there is going to be hitting the dirt for a little bit. We just had all those homecoming stones just pop right there, and they saved Slither's life. So they got to be feeling pretty good about themselves. 2 very quick successive kills, especially landing one on the solo mid. And I'm meaning to get to this, but the solo mid, Krylie, 63 creep kills. He is just far out farming Vex here at a measly 43. I mean, look at the quick difference. 150 creep kills here for the Legion, 126 for Hellborn, and that's just leading to overall, 3,000 experience, 4,000 gold advantage for UNZ this early game.
Yeah, no, and that's absolutely correct. They've been moving around a little bit better. They've gotten those ganks off, 7-4 in the hero kill count, and right now they let Puppet Master farm bottom after getting that gank. Slither's been killed. What? I think this is his 4th death, I believe.
Yes, sir, 4 deaths.
Yeah, 4 deaths. And he's not really getting much. Like, look at his items. He's got a life tube, two duck boots, and a bolstering armband. So he is going to go for those steam boots most likely, but he has not had any kind of farm, even though he was solo bottom for so long. If we take a look at Valkyrie, he's got Ghost Marchers, Power Supply, Soul Screamling, and he has a bottle in addition. So we're going to have to see how they can come back. We're going to need more of those kind of homecoming stones with those ganks if the Legion team decides to overextend. But right now in bottom, Magnus and Puppet Master going to be taking Slither out again. Mega overextension. And Magnus was just sitting off in the trees. He should have known that somebody was there. While we have some action going on mid, here it is. I can't stop the casting now, as Armadon might be going in a little bit too deep. And we have Demented Shaman coming in as well. And no, Armadon going to be juking people all over the place. Valkyrie comes in with a haste rune, going to be using the link, or not the link, but the Valkyrie call, and going to be jumping in. Tower does go down, going to throw the arrow. Oh, great dodge by Vindicator, but still going to go down to Valkyrie. In the meantime, we have Hammerstorm trying to take out Armadon. Not going to happen. Torture throwing out the chains. Tormented chains come out as well. I meant impaling strikes. And man, gosh, mega turnaround. Even though the TPs came out from the Hellborn side, they just couldn't find Armadon. They were trying to focus him down a little bit. Valkyrie came through the woods. Great arrows, great Valkyrie call, and they just turned the tide in their favor even more.
Indeed, they did. I mean, like 11 to 4 now. We were at 7, so that's 4 kills plus a tower. Unfortunately, it was denied, but now we've taken away that safety net that the Hellborn are so dependent upon. We have lost the bottom tower for the Hellborn as well, so we are up 2 towers. Even if one is a deny, that's a lot of map control now relinquished. Now, I mean, the only thing the Hellborn have to work off are their wards. We do have one here down by, well, 2, I suppose, on this bottom river segment, trying to keep an eye on those runes. We do have one, again, up top a little bit closer to that rune, but we also have the counter wards there by the Alliance, so everyone has vision in and around the same place. Big difference here, however, is the safety net of UNZ is just vastly more better right now, and that made no grammatical sense at all. But at the same time, I mean, a big mistake is trying to focus down an Armadon, and an Armadon, especially with the Helm of the Black Legion, I mean, that's a lot of extra chance to block, plus his Armadillo, and he has himself a Plated Greaves with a Ring of the Teachers. I mean, that's a lot of stacked armor on him.
I mean, that Demented Shaman, Stormcloud, is not going to do a whole lot to him at this point because, he's just still going to be able to tank it. It's going to be as if he was somewhat normal armor value. And, right now, we're going to have to see maybe a little bit more aggressiveness by this Swarm team. Right now, we got Magnus trying to go in onto Hammerstorm. Valkyrie coming in maybe for a little bit of a snipe. Not enough mana for the arrow, so he's just going to back out of there. Hammerstorm still staying in, maybe trying to set something up. In addition, we've got Armadon trying to take on and chasing away 3 Warm team members. They are so afraid of this beast going around. Hellborn side, I should say. And Magnus going in with that stun right there. Nice heal, but that's not going to be enough. Slither's just going to run out after doing his ultimate. And Armadon could take out all these Hellborn members. He's just going in, still has the Spine Quills. And if anybody does damage to him right now, they could be going down. Slither, he goes down right there. Next one falls Demented Shaman. Myrmidon going to get that kill onto Armadon, but was it actually worth it, ladies and gentlemen? That is a 2-for-1 trade. And right now, they might be looking for a counterattack, although I don't think it is going to happen. Everybody's somewhat low health, does have mana on the Hellborn side, but we are going to be seeing finally a retreat from this Legion team with a 10,000 gold advantage and a 8k experience advantage on their side.
It's definitely looking good for UNC. Up by 8 kills, 2 towers, and a whole lot of experience in gold, and they're going to be using that gold to get that item advantage as quick as they can. Take a quick look at Revi here. He was not actually part of that mid-fight at all. He was pushing this bottom lane. He has himself that Assassin Shroud, 18-minute Assassin Shroud, pretty respectable farm right now. He is at 320 gold a minute or so. Actually, he's at the top gold per minute right now, very closely followed here by this Armadon. Armadon only losing out simply because he just died right there, going in a little bit too aggressive. And speaking of aggressive, looks like he really wants to take either this tower or grab a few more kills to offset that. He picked himself up a Mighty Blade, 10 more strength. It's going to be 10. It's going to be 100 extra hit points. Magnus going in with the stun. We are going to throw down an offensive ward just to keep sight on everyone. I did have a homecoming stone, but I don't think it's actually going to work because look in the mid, it is going to be Valkyrie, and he does not know that there's an invis Slither here at all. So this is going to keep tails on him, although it does look like he is going to be in on on the retreat, even though it is 3v1. So they're going to use that distraction up top. They're going to be chasing away the Hellborn team. Out goes the stun, but a good avoid there by Magnus. He's not going to bother using his ultimate because they do not need it at all. They're just going to be chasing down Hammerstorm as best they can. He's going to hide up in the woods for a little bit, but instead we might have Slither taking his place. The creeps, they are going to be taking that towers, and that's just going to be free gold and money for them. But see, going up into the woods against an Armadon, it's just not going to work because he has all those quills. He might be a little bit too overextended, however, because Myrmidon wants to really make something of this. Using that Armadillo, he's going to try to reduce all that damage. He might actually get the kill here. No, he's not going to get that kill, but it is going to be instead Torture. I mean, all those quills, they add up all that damage, and right now he's going to try to keep this Vindicator well within range. Oh, the auto attack not going to be not quite enough. Going to be using that health potion. He has no support except this Hammerstorm, but Hammerstorm has lots of full mana. He's going to be throwing down that stun, and that should be enough. God's Mode was probably not needed at all. Valkyrie, however, is going to be cleaning up at least one kill, if not the double. There we go. Oh, man.
Oh man, indeed. That is just a ton of back and forth, not knowing when to get out. And if they had homecoming stones, they could have retreated from that situation. But right now, we're going to see Demented Shaman scurry on back to the bottom lane where we have Puppet Master solo pushing again. He's picked up that Hungry Spirit, 10% health steal. He might be going for an Elder Parasite if he's feeling very good, or he could just combo it into a Symbol of Rage if he's just, farming beast mode like he is right now. And if we take a look around, let's, do some item checkups. Let's see what's going on. Demented Shaman there, just going to place a ward, going to give that sight over the rune and Kongor, because the Legion team does have the option to do that. They are in a dominating position, in fact, due to their gold and experience advantage. Slither, again, hasn't picked up anything but 2 Soul Scream rings. He finally finished his duck boots into something else. Magnus just sitting pretty with Striders, got the ward, playing the support role. Valkyrie, nice Fireblade right there, Firebrand, and he's going to be looking to do a lot of damage to this tower with the illusion still going. They have a lot of time on him, and we'll have to see how this Hellborn team defends, as right now Hammerstorm is up top, and he's going to have to get some mana before he can get back into this fight.
Well, we're going to lose that tower first off the bat, so Torture going to pick that up. Good double stun combo coming out there from Magnus. That's going to lead to 2 very quick deaths, both Myrmidon and Demented Shaman. So the support is down. We do got the CC going out. Slither going to be throwing out that poison, but I'm not too sure it's actually going to matter at this point. He only hit about 2 people with it. Neither of them are so low at health. But look at this Armadon just tower diving like a boss. Going to be grabbing that kill. Hammerstorm wants to really get Torture, but that's going to be a Genocide instead. So Genocide comes out. It's not going to be any kind of fancy names at all. We did have a vote fail. Oh, the concede vote coming out. Oh, is that going to be it? I could have sworn this game was longer than that, but it does look like 21-8 is going to be the final score at a 21-minute mark. That's 1 kill a minute. UNZ certainly knows how to put on a show. I really do got a feel for this Slither, though. I mean, he ended up being a pincushion this entire game. 7 deaths. That life tube just could never find its way to become that Helm of the Black Legion that he really wanted it to, and the bolstering armband. He still is playing marches as well. I really feel for the guy, but let's see. He had 140 gold a minute, only trounced by Haggy Boy, Demented Shaman at 74 gold a minute. So unfortunate for them, but UNZ showing very strong performances this game.
Dude, strong is not even a word to describe it. They were just showing a dominating performance here in this round. As everybody is disconnecting. Armadon just staying mid. Once he gets some core items, and that was a good job to put him mid. It's like, okay, who are you going to put up against me? Anybody, I can out-tank them. As soon as I get my life tube, Vindicator's just going to tickle me to death. Well, not even going to kill him. It's just going to tickle me. And I'm just going to keep farming up and up. Going to get those levels. Going to get Armadillo. Going to have the Snot. Just going to be in your face all game. Tank it up while I have Magnus coming in from the side, doing the stun. Torturer following up. Great team coordination by the Legion side. Able to get those picks off onto Slither bottom solo by Valkyrie. Then Puppet Master, Magnus came down there. It just turned the tides too much in their favor. Vindicator couldn't use his, silence fast enough. And, just a little bit of a misplay. They looked like they were doing well first off in the beginning, but they lost it near the end once those ganks started happening. And you just cannot lose early game if you want to hold, your spot in these kind of tournaments.
Well, I mean, the Armadon was the last pick of the game for UNZ, and it really did end up being a good counter to everything that we had going on, although I still really did not expect that Vindicator to be taking a carry role solo mid. So, unfortunate gameplay, unfortunate lane matchups, but UNZ going on to the quarterfinals here of the UNGL Destiny Cup, and I do believe the quarterfinals have been played, but the semis and finals should be starting up either tomorrow or next week, which is pretty exciting because I mean, this was obviously a kind of a one-sided game, but as the top teams advance, we should be seeing them closer to parity, which means we should be seeing some top quality stuff coming out of these guys. So, Cast with a K, thank you very much for joining me here on this Heroes of Newerth cast. This was, I believe, your first Heroes of Newerth cast.
Yes, it is my first Heroes of Newerth cast. I apologize if I'm too used to saying warm and cold team from Bloodline Champions, but, you know, Hellborn, Legion, it's close enough, right? And, you know, I do try and play every day. So, you know, thank you for having me on here for, your game replays, you know, game review. And, you know, it's always a pleasure commentating with you, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to hit up Bloodline Champions this weekend, me and you, so that's a date. But hey, guys, you know, this is cast first cast, believe it or not. And, you know, if you have any feedback, feel free to leave it for us because we're always looking to improve. I'm likely going to be in and around the scene a little bit more, Four Court Jester. I know I've been a little MIA, but you know what? It's time to get back into this stuff. So, thanks for watching UNGL Destiny, UNZ, clan favorite of mine, and we're going to see if we can find some other games to do down the line. So, you know, rate it, review it, subscribe it, find us on Twitter, find us on OWN TV. I do believe that is the Game Replays streaming site these days, and, you know, stick with us because we're going to have more for you in a bit. So, with that being said, thank you again, Cast, and FourCourtJester signing out.
All right, cast with a K, leaving it pretty.